Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's not due to nostalgia. I genuinely believe that it is the perfect sequel to a franchise's debut. That's a bold claim, I know, but when you put it up against the sequels to some of the most legendary game franchises of all time, it becomes super clear how wonderful of a follow-up Sonic 2 is to its predecessor. While the foundation of a great game was created with the first one, this game fully developed those ideas to create a much more complete experience. So let's talk about why I think Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is the perfect sequel. Sonic 2 brought to life 3 additions to the game that are now staples to the franchise, those being the Spin Dash, Tails, and Super Sonic. The Spin Dash is one of the most natural extensions to Sonic's abilities that we've ever seen. Like, it literally just makes sense for his character. Use it to zoom around the act at lightning speed, use it to help you take shortcuts, and it helps you regain any momentum you might have lost. Then there's Tails, who is Sonic's new sidekick. At the start of the game, you have the option to either play with Sonic alone, play with Tails alone, or play with Sonic and Tails, where Tails tags along as a CPU. He'll slightly assist Sonic on his journey, doing little things like getting extra hits on bosses, picking up rings, and losing them. But genuinely, he's a great addition as a character and sometimes as a CPU. And last but not least, there's Super Sonic. Super Sonic not only runs faster than Sonic normally, but is invincible to all hazards except for bottomless pits, and you don't lose Super Sonic until you run out of rings, which one ring is taken away every second, so if you keep running and collecting rings, you'll damn near be an unstoppable force. But aside from his abilities, I really love that Super Sonic gives you an incentive to play special stages and really try to grab the Chaos Emeralds. In the first game, special stages were more like busy work to get the good ending, where in Sonic 2, grabbing the Chaos Emeralds not only rewards your effort with a good ending, but also makes your journey a little bit easier by giving you Super Sonic to traverse through the levels. If you've ever watched my video on Sonic 1, you'd know that I'm not a fan of half of the stages in the game. This is because half of the game isn't designed around traveling at high speeds, you know, like what you want Sonic to do. So levels like Marble Zone and Labyrinth Zone feel more like a chore to get through than a fun and challenging stage. Fortunately, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 does not have that design issue whatsoever. As a matter of fact, it's the complete opposite. This game's level design is much more thought out around Sonic's character. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, since the game rewards your skill and knowledge of the level by allowing Sonic to travel at high speeds, each level has multiple different routes to take in each stage, with the higher routes being the more difficult to reach and traverse, but rewards your skill reaching them with a faster way to the goal, while the lower paths are a lot easier to travel through at the cost of how fast you're most likely going to go. It's a nice little risk and reward system to reward skillful players without punishing newcomers. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Sonic 1 bosses are boring. Every single one of them. I do not like them. I think we can all agree that there isn't much memorable about them at all. Sonic 2, on the other hand, has a handful of unique bosses to throw at you. They aren't all winners. Some of them do suffer from the same brain dead issues like the bosses in the first game, but this game more than makes up for it by having a variety of different and unique bosses. While they're all easy, they at the very least have their own individual attack patterns, their own individual designs, and as silly as they might be, they add a lot more charm and personality to Eggman than any of the bosses in the first game. Now, this game is far from perfect, and there are a few things that I really do not like. The first one being the special stages.
They fucking suck. As a matter of fact, they just might be the worst in the entire franchise. Yeah, I find them that bad.
The objective is to travel down this half pipe while holding onto a certain number of rings. The issue starts to come in after like the second special stage, when you continuously get blindsided by all of the bombs lying in the way. Then this guy just goes all out of his way to lose all of your rings, and then when you inevitably lose the special stage, get ready to get sent back to the level with 0 rings.
Like, what kind of shit is that? It's bad enough that I didn't get the Chaos Emerald, and now I have to fend for my life in probably my least favorite level.
Mystic Cave is the second issue that I have with Sonic 2. This level does not belong in the game. It is slower than most levels in the game, it has a maze-like level design like Labyrinth Zone, and fuck this level for having a death trap that you can't escape. That's dickhead level design, and guess what? We don't like dickhead level design. Overall, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, not only as a sequel, but as a standalone game, is a tremendous quality of life improvement from the first one. With more stages, better boss fights, and an actual reason to collect the Chaos Emeralds, Sonic 2 is so easy to pick up and replay that it's one of my favorite games of all time. But that's just my opinion, and I would love to hear yours. Let me know what is one of your favorite sequels of all time in the comments down below. And with that being said,
I'm out.